How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I need to apologize right off the bat because I completely lost my voice. So bear with me here. I think this is going to be a really good video. That's why I'm bringing it to you, even though my voice sounds terrible. I apologize for that. I'm doing the best I can, but I need to get this video out because there's some really exciting news and some really exciting things you have to look at in the crypto space. I have part of an interview from Michael Saylor that I want to show you later, but I need to get through some other things. Right now, we are seeing a little bit of a dip in the crypto market with Bitcoin falling actually below 60,000 just for a split second. And with some of these other cryptos falling, but I mean, there's still a lot of money to be made. There's still a lot of money that's being made in some altcoins right now. So I need to tell you about how you're going to get rich in crypto and how this opportunity is not going to be here forever. So if you guys don't mind hitting the like button, hitting the subscribe button, I really do appreciate that. Helps out the channel a lot. Especially when I'm feeling like this. I feel fine, but my throat's gone. It does show some support. So why is there such a big opportunity in front of us? Well, I'll get to the news here in a second, but let me show you something that I found fascinating. So if we just look at some of the money that you can make in Bitcoin. So I think there are going to be better gains in other cryptos as time goes on, but just at Bitcoin, I think so many of us think of Bitcoin as like this riskier asset, at least starting off you do. But when you think about, first of all, where it's going to go, I think most of us consider it probably $500,000 to $1 million in 10 years. So think about averaging into this. Let's say you can put $5,000 in and you can buy that every single year for the next 10 years. Assuming you get just even a 2% interest rate on your Bitcoin, getting a little bit extra on the side, like from BlockFi or Voyager or something like that, you can make $324,000. And I realize I'm throwing out numbers, but compare that to the stock market at $101,000. And the thing is, this is with a 15% return. So I made this drastically high compared to the average return. Let's say you can beat the stock market, be one of the best stock pickers out there. You get a 15% return year after year. Doing all this work, you still only have $101,000. So you can make 3 times as much in Bitcoin, assuming it hits that number. Now, I'm going to show you here today why I think it will hit that number, at least in 10 years, might be higher than that. And you can look at other cryptocurrencies. So I think we have to think about Bitcoin as like the least risky asset in crypto, obviously. Then from there, you can make better returns in some other cryptos. You just have to bet that those are the ones that are going to win out. So let's take a look at some of them. Also, there are links to BlockFi and Voyager underneath the video if you're interested in that. Right now, Bitcoin's price is falling a little bit. We can just take a look here. We did see some support at 60,000. We've seen support right in that range before. If we fall below this, it will probably be around 57 or so that we find some more support, 57, 58, and then we'll probably be off to the races. I'm not worried long term. We are seeing some of the money flow into the other altcoins. The dominance is going down, so that's something to consider. Now, why is it so strong right now? Well, one of the reasons is billionaires like Peter Thiel said that they haven't invested enough in Bitcoin. I mean, he bought a long time ago, 2013, and he still says that he did not buy enough. We also see some other news. I mean, of course, everyone knows about Q4. Everyone knows about the ETFs. I'm not going to get into that. But we still see some cool news like Walmart partnering with Coinstar to bring 200 Bitcoin kiosks to stores across the US. So we're still seeing mass adoption. But I think the real money is still not here yet. Obviously, there are large sums of money in pensions. So $52 trillion in the global pensions funds. So just a 2% allocation towards Bitcoin would be over $1 trillion. And some pension funds are already buying it. They're buying it and holding the physical Bitcoin because it gives them income generation potential. So there's a large amount of money sitting on the sidelines. I talked about this earlier this week too. Interactive Brokers launches crypto trading for financial advisors in the US. So they have over $350 billion underneath them in Interactive Brokers, but this gives all these registered advisors access to it. And they hold a lot of the wealth in the US, over $110 trillion. So, I mean, you just think about a 1 or 2% allocation towards Bitcoin. It's huge. We also have to look at why some of the big companies aren't buying Bitcoin yet. And the reason for that is the accounting. So right now it's an indefinite lived intangible asset, meaning it's not treated the same as cash or cash equivalent. Basically, if the price goes down for Bitcoin, you write that as a loss until you eventually sell it. So if it goes down 50% and then goes back up 5,000%, it's still counted as a loss on balance sheets. So there are some massive companies that are still waiting to buy. I mean, they're burning through so much cash. A lot of people think about the inflation rate as 4-5% right now. If you look at the real inflation, right, like the assets that you want to buy to gain wealth, I mean, you're talking about index funds, you're talking about crypto, you're talking about real estate, they're 10 to 50% up this year. So these massive companies that are holding $90 billion like Amazon or Facebook with $64 billion, Apple with $62 billion, Alphabet with $136 billion, Microsoft with $130 billion, they're losing $10 to $20 billion a year when you think about where they could be putting it if they were able to put it into something. So the reason they haven't started to buy Bitcoin is the accounting behind it. Once that accounting changes, they will start funneling some money into Bitcoin, in my opinion. At least a good majority of them will. Even Michael Saylor is saying that is coming. Listen to what he just said last night.
I actually think that we started a stampede of people putting it into their treasury. You couldn't have found a publicly traded company with $5 million of Bitcoin in August of 2020.
Yep.
You couldn't have found one.
Yep.
And if you look at what's going on right now, there's got to be 36 or more by the end of this year. And you've gone from less than 5 million, like 1 or 2 million on corporate treasuries. And this is publicly traded companies, not all companies. You've gone from a couple of million on corporate treasuries, right, to 15 billion, to many, many, many billions. The thing that's, and Coinbase just said they had like 9,000 institutional accounts. And I talk to private companies all the time. I know lots of private companies that are getting into it.
I know a plumber who has Bitcoin on his balance sheet, 3 employees. Think about that. So there's a lot out there for sure.
So he just said there will be 36 publicly traded companies with Bitcoin on their balance sheet by the end of the year. That is insane. That's a crazy amount. Now, I just want you guys to see all the potential here. Even if you think that this is going to be a boring write-up in Bitcoin, it's still going to outperform almost every single asset out there except some of the other cryptocurrencies that live through bear markets or downturns. So that's why I want to bring that to you here today. Thank you guys so much for watching. Again, I apologize for my voice going in and out. Hopefully it'll be better by tomorrow, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.